The trial of Sam Bankman-Fried started today. He, of course, the one-time crypto billionaire who became the richest person on earth under 30 in like a matter of 18 months. He was also one of the biggest donors in Democratic politics, and he basically had the whole world at his feet. President Bill Clinton was on stage with him at a crypto conference. He got athletes like Tom Brady and Steph Curry. And remember comedians like Larry David, remember to cut that commercial in the Super Bowl for his crypto exchange, FTX? And then the thing went bust, just completely bust. And Sam Bankman-Fried was subsequently indicted for conspiracy and fraud by federal prosecutors. If he is convicted, he could face over 100 years in prison. And it's one of the most spectacular rise and fall stories of basically anyone in recent memory. And as it turns out, best-selling nonfiction author Michael Lewis was basically just hanging out with Bankman-Fried on his way up and the way down. His new book about it, Going Infinite, was published today. And joining me now, Michael Lewis, in his first live TV interview about this book. Great to have you here.
Great to see you.
It's an incredible read, as all Michael Lewis works are. Before I get into this, let me ask you this question. As someone who's written about finance from Liar's Poker, your first incredible claim book. When I tried to get my head around crypto and kept having this thing of like, is this a con or is it not? And I kept going back and forth. Is it a con? Is it not? I talked to some people. In the end, I kind of was like, didn't quite come down. And then all this blew up and I was like, guess it was a con.
Yeah.
Where is independent of him?
Yes.
Like this thing that created billions of dollars that was sloshing around the trillions of dollars sloshing around the economy. Where do you think of it in that trajectory?
So it's odd because it's kind of both. I mean, I think that in the first place, it's a tulip. I mean, what we've been through is like a tulip craze. But the technology underneath it's real.
Right.
Like it actually has promised to do things like get rid of financial intermediaries. It's not nothing. It's maybe overblown. And the thing that's kind of been odd about it is a story. You know, it's created in 2008. From 2008 on, it's had a series of sort of narratives it's tried to sell, but none of the narratives have been true. It's sort of like it's this solution in search of a problem.
That's what it feels
like. And
it's a real thing. There's real tech there, but it's like when the tulip, there's famous Dutch tulip craze, right? Yes. People are, or Beanie Babies, right? Like when it got real hot and frothy in the market, when this guy's worth $30 billion, it felt like that.
Yes, it did. So it hasn't. Its promise has not been realized. But it's not to say it's just nothing. It's like it could. One day in the future would not be shocking if blockchain is used in all of financial transactions. Right. It just hasn't happened yet. And so in between, there are lots of stories that have gotten told that are kind of not true stories, and it's fueled this craze. And to me, the crypto itself wasn't what was interesting. It was the social consequences of $3 trillion being created out of nothing.
That really was, it was so striking if you were even adjacent or even a few nodes away from it.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, this money's just cascading out of this thing.
And he got a big chunk of it.
So this guy, it's a fascinating, look, he's a strange dude.
Yeah.
In the end, it's like, again, there's sort of this like Bernie Madoff style con man, like benighted strange dude over his head. Yeah. I feel like I ended up I had come down in the Bernie Madoff category when I read the indictment.
Yeah.
That's not really the line this book takes, or your impression of it.
Well, so just for starters, I think this is an important distinction. Everybody shouts at me when I make it, but Bernie Madoff, it was a Ponzi scheme, and there's like a definition of a Ponzi scheme. There's no real business there. Right. So Sam Bankman-Fried had two businesses. He had this hedge fund he called Alameda Research, but he had this crypto exchange, and the exchange was a gold mine. It generated $1 billion in revenues in 2021, like $400 million in profits. It was real. Without the hedge fund there to screw it up, it'd still be there. It was a casino. Right. It was just like they took little slices of every transaction in crypto. So
and the other one is still around, right? Coinbase or whatever.
Yeah, well, there are a bunch of them that are still around. So and the most money in crypto has been made by people who bought Bitcoin when it was zero, or people who created these exchanges. So there was this real thing, and the alleged crime kind of makes no sense. He blew up a $40 billion business for this kind of hedge fund on the side that really was his legacy business, is how he got into crypto in the first place. But they didn't bear a necessary relationship. There was a relationship, but it wasn't necessary. He could have gotten rid of that thing.
Right, but he did seem to take people's money in one and transfer it over to the other.
And he did, and he was, I think of him as a creature of modern finance. I mean, in any other era on Wall Street, he's probably not on Wall Street. But he's pulled out of MIT by high-frequency trading firms that identify his mind as exactly the kind of mind that belongs in finance. And, in almost any other period in history, he's like a high school physics teacher. Here, he's kind of imprinted by this.
Good point.
And it's sort of like he becomes his identity, this trading thing, and I think he couldn't let go of it.
I saw there was some Elon Musk obviously, Walter Isaacson has his Elon Musk biography, but just like
you're gonna do the compare and contrast, they're different though.
Well, they are different, but there's something about a certain kind of mind that works like a key and a lock of a certain kind of set of problem solving, but is not great outside of that domain.
Right.
Well, and maybe to disastrous consequence.
So Sam Bankman-Fried said, he said, until I hit Wall Street, I didn't think that I was really special at anything. I wasn't good at anything. There wasn't anything I was suited for. He hits Jane Street, of this high-frequency trade firm. He says, this is what I was put on earth to do. And then what he did is he saw that in crypto, there's an even bigger opportunity to do it than in stocks and bonds and currencies. So that's what gets him going in the first place. So, but it is, so you're watching something that like it only happened now, and this phenomenon of someone becoming that rich that quickly, and the way the whole society shapes itself around him, politics, media.
There are scenes in here of what that looks like, the clustering around when that much money comes into one person that quickly, that are like truly gobsmacking. It's called Going Infinite. It's on sale today. Michael Lewis, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man.